Okay guys, rig tubing. Now if you've used rig tubing before, you're probably aware that it's a bloody pain in the arse sometimes to work with. You know, the line doesn't want to go through. It's okay if you've got new tubing and you've got fresh line, but once your line's been in the water and the tube has been in the water, it gets gunked up and becomes hard to thread. So I've got a little tip how I thread it. I've never seen this anywhere else before, so I don't know if it's out there or not, but it's how I do thread my tubing without pulling what little air I've got left out. Okay, so my technique to get the line in. Now, give the line a wipe with a damp cloth, get any gunk off if it's been in the water before. You're almost certain to have elements on there that's going to make threading through tubing harder. If it's new tubing and new line, it's probably going to go through first time just threading it through. But if the tubing's been used before and the line's been used before, then use this method and it works for all stretchy tube. Okay, so I've cleaned the line and I've cut the line, tip of the line at a 45-degree angle. Now we're going to get that through into the tubing like so, and then just keep threading it through and get as much in as you can before it decides it don't want to go any further because it's hit a bit of dirt or something. It's going a bit further, you see, there you go, it's not going any further now. Now what I do is try and work out how far the tube down the tubing the line has gone, and I think it's about that far down. So what I'm going to do is squeeze the rig end of the tubing and gently but firmly hold the tubing without squeezing the line inside, but in this end I'm squeezing the line inside. So from the rig end, squeezing tight and stretching, and the line gets pulled in very slightly. Now the trick is to now squeeze at the rod end and release at the rig end, and then you'd have pulled a bit of line through, and then we just keep repeating the process. So squeeze at the rig end, just hold the tubing firmly but not too tight, not to allow the line in, and squeeze and stretch rather, and then squeeze at the rig end, rod end, this end, and release the rig end, and then repeat the process. And the further down it goes, the more stretch you've got in the tubing and the more line you can get through. So now I'm squeezing at the rig end, and I don't think that's got the line, I need to come up a little bit, so I'm going to squeeze there, try and squeeze the line as well, pull it, there we go, and then relax, and so squeeze there. Now squeeze at the rod end and relax the rig end, squeeze at the rig end, now squeeze at the rod end, relax the rig end, squeeze at the rig end, stretch, relax the rig end, hold the rod end, and it's just a case of trapping the line at this end, stretching it, and then trapping the line at that end before releasing this end, and then go down a bit further, squeeze the rig end, stretch, now squeeze the rod end, let the line go through, and there we go, it's actually already through. So there we go, and it's as simple as that. It's just, you know, looks probably a bit cack-handed, but it works. Rather than keep poking the line through and getting so far and pulling it out and starting again and maybe cutting some line off, get some fresh line, this works every time with flexible tubing. Now to finish the rig off, what we do, and this is why I've got the pointed end or the 45-degree angle on the rig tubing there, is because it makes it easier to go into the tail rubber for the lead clip, and you just squeeze that, push that on so it's nice and firm. So now the tail rubber's attached to the tubing. Okay, and then you put your lead clip on. Like so. I'll just tuck that in there for the moment. And then I'm going to tie a quick change swivel. Like so. Can you see that? Quick change swivel. Just tie that on. Spin it around the other way, because that's where I tie it. I'll just do 3, 4, 5 turn grinner through there, through there again. Always wet the knot. Always. Cut the tack off and then pull that into the lead clip like so. Get it in there as far as you can, and then this lead clip has got a little plastic stop, like a little T stop, goes in there. If you can see, that's really tiny, and you just put it in, and the idea behind that is it locks. There's a quick release clip in place so it can't pull out the lead clip, which makes it safer, because otherwise the line could pull through and you end up with the tubing down the line. It can cause all sorts of problems. And then all I would do then is just get some putty. It's a bit cold, so I'm going to just give it a bit of a warm up, give it a twist, make it more malleable. Good word, malleable. And then just mold that around the tubing like so. And then I'll do that further up the tubing as well. So one lot towards the end, maybe even have 2 or 3 little dots of putty. So that will hold it all on the lake bed and keep it nice and tidy. So that is a rig made with tubing, simples.